For the most part, I just wanted to make art. I try to keep my art as minimalist as possible. Character illustrations that conveys emotions. I also love Picasso. I love the fact that Picasso tried to make things simple. The talent does not just sit inside you and grow without you utilizing it. Nothing is easy. Creating art is not easy.
Who are you?
Who am I? I think it's really cool that you asked that because I'm still trying to discover myself. I express myself through my writings and my art and some creative ideas that I have. So I'll probably call myself a creative entrepreneur. While I just started with making like pieces around these characters and like just trying to like write around it. It was just a book where I just scribbled a lot of ideas, and during this period I was just trying to like get out this character, try to sculpt out the kind of character that I need.
Was there a moment that you realized you wanted to pursue your creativity seriously?
I saw a lot of signs. It was more like a feeling and that intense need for you to want to like express this rich world in your head. Most times for all creatives, I promise you, they get very restless when they are unable to express themselves properly. What inspired me is just this little moment where I intensely wanted to create. I pursued it, and over the course of time I found myself like just pursuing it without consciously making that decision. This was like a book where I explored a lot of ideas. This is the sketchbook I currently keep right now. This was actually a moment in church where I saw the keyboardist trying to, and I wanted to break down that scene and just make it as minimalist as possible, so I had to sketch this.
What came first? Was it the writing or the art itself?
I think for most people, they started sketching when they were children. A whole lot of people that I come across, they're like, oh, I used to sketch then and stuff. And I promise you, I fall in that category too. While I was little, I used to make sketches. Our school notebooks, we turn it into sketchbooks and sketch all sort of things. We sketch the bad man and the actor. And they were really nice when you get to use different gradations of pen. You use a red pen, the green pen. That was when like my love for just drawing and making art truly started. Over time, as I grew up, I just had to pause it. I don't know why. And yeah, I started writing. I wrote my first book in my final year in school. It's a novel I call Palm Wine Boys. So Palm Wine Boys was just a depiction of like the kind of society we live in school. I went to a federal university, so it was really crazy out there, and a lot of things that you wouldn't see on the normal, like cultism was like the act of the day. These things were alien to me. I'd never experienced them. I'd never known about them. I mean, watching somebody kill somebody left like an indelible mark in my head. I'm like, this person can actually do this. So I wrote Palm Wine Boys based on that. The truth about it is that once I finished that work, I gave it to my dad to look at it, and he was like, yeah, this is actually, but I didn't want to share it. I felt really uncomfortable showing people that. After Palm Wine Boys, I wrote Long Shadow on the Coast. It just paints a picture of like what happened in the colonial eras and how they actually brought in Christianity to Africa. And it also tells the story surrounding the people that lived then. Like they had various superstitions, like if let's say a leopard attacks an animal, they point to somebody and say that person turned into that leopard to go and attack that animal, and they put you to a test and all of that. Those were like really primitive ways. It was a beautiful book, and I spent close to about 5 years writing this book, because during that period I was already in the labor market working actively. And these are the times when you realize that, okay, I really want to do this, because it takes a lot of resilience to push through, to be able, no matter how long it takes, as long as you complete it, that's what really matters. Them Last Prophet's tag, yeah. It's just a book that just tells a story about a futuristic Lagos, a world that is like very, very chaotic. During this period, that was when I picked up making art again, and I just seemed to like want to blend the two into a piece. So you don't pick up a book and it's boring for you to read. You pick up a book and you see the illustrations there and you want to know what the characters are doing. Like, why is this character positioned like this? Why are they thinking this way? And it just draws you, reels you into the book or to the work to be able to read. My writing and my art evolved and like just fused into something that could actually give value to the people around me and the society in general. Just trying to explore some angles and camera lenses to create art. It's going this way, the lines are going this way, and you can see these characters bigger.
This is very interesting because in photography, these are leading lines.
Yeah.
What were some of the biggest influences on your art style early on?
I think for the most part, I just wanted to make art. I just love to like just make like character illustrations that conveys emotions, and I try to keep my art as minimalist as possible. A lot of people will be like, why are you creating, why are their eyes so big? Why are their lips so big? But I mean, it's more like just an expression. I love Basket a lot because I mean, he expressed a lot of himself and his environment in his art. I also love Picasso. Yeah, you still say it's cliche, but I love the fact that Picasso tried to make things simple. In an era where people were painting realistic paintings, you have to get the shades, the curvature of the person's face. The portrait has to look exactly like the person. Watching these people, their lives and their paintings, I mean, it inspired me a lot to like want to create this sort of pieces. A lot of African artists have gone a long way to like just inspire me to. Like I would say for instance Aliki. I know a lot of people might not know Aliki, but he makes like really good pieces, really good pieces. So I mean, if Aliki is listening to this, shout out to you, man. Like you make really good pieces. This is the one I'm exploring with the charcoal pencil. I haven't even finished this piece. I was still working on it and I hope that I can jump in and complete it. These are other ones that are finished.
How do you come up with ideas and what steps you take to bring them to life?
My creative process is usually very spontaneous. I mean, with writing, we have two types of writers. We have the plotters and we have the pantsers. Now, the plotters are the guys who just want to have like a very structured kind of plan before they start writing. They know the peak, they know the inciting incident, they know the resolution and all of that, the climax. They know how they want these things to unfold. But I think I am more of a pantser, a writer who writes on his pants. Like he just knows that, oh, I know what I want from this story. I know a little bit of like touch points, but I have a vague ending. I can see it, but not clearly. And as you move, it's just like going through a dark road. So the headlights just shows you like to a point where you can see clearly and like go forward till you get to your destination. Most times it could be like an idea that has been in me. This idea has been like just nudging me to like just take a plunge and like explore it. Usually I do that. While this idea is forming, I try to picture if this could be a short story, this could be a book length work, this could be a novella, this could just be like illustrations. I think it's more like my experiences, just living my experiences and trying to like interpret them into my creative process. So I actually went out and I saw a lot of despondent faces. People were sad. This was me trying to interpret it, trying to create very lost faces.
Are there any specific tools, techniques, or routines that help you stay productive and consistent to your work?
For me, it's more like that gnawing voice in my head that, oh, you actually have a book to write, you actually have work there. And I tell myself that if you don't do these things, nobody will do them for you. And you have the ability to inspire like a whole lot of people based on like just very little and consistent decisions that you make to upgrade your skill or to make yourself a better person in general. I might sometimes not be up for it. I might sometimes still have a lot more to learn. And these things just give me an idea of how to channel my creativity and know when I have to create and when I have to learn. This is actually a collection I love so much. I created this collection where I was still trying to figure out my art style, and I incorporated a lot of doodling. I think this is a twin. This is a twin painting of it, so you can actually get both of it like together as a twin piece.
Let's talk about one of your favorite pieces. What inspired it, and what was the process like?
Is a novel I just completed. I call it The Comedian's Diary. Comedian's Diary is a story about an accountant who just lost his job. He's struggling with his alcohol addiction and he gets a security job, and he has to juggle between doing that security job and his stand-up comedy aspirations. And the twist about this whole work is that this story is told from the point of view of a jotter, the book where he writes his jokes. So now the book tells it from his perspective, seeing the guy's life unfold. It's one of the favorite works I've been able to like just conjure out. And walking through the process, what really inspired me, it doesn't really matter what sort of addiction we have. It doesn't matter alcohol, cigarettes, sugar, whatever it is. But I mean, most times, even social media, we are like addicted to something at some point in our lives as human beings. So I think this is one of the things that inspired this work. It made me try to write a very, very flawed character. For art, I think one of my favorite collections is The Painter and the Bride. So The Painter and the Bride is a collection of just 9 pieces. When I made this piece, it was supposed to be exhibited for an event. I had like a very, very short window to deliver this piece. And when it came out, I sat back and I was like, okay, this looks really cool. So I think up till now, I still have like a soft spot for that collection. So you see here, the painter is, he holds a painting brush and is painting the lady, and he hangs a picture. He goes on a date, drunk in love, honeymoon. Here is where he proposes to her, and together forever, motherhood and family. I really love this piece. It's very, very vibrant, very, very bright, vibrant for matches. And you can also get this on the store. It's on seller. You just print it out. You can order for a frame.
What are some of the biggest challenges that you face as an artist, like trying to make a living off your work?
There's a lot of difficulty becoming an artist, first of all, because you have to fight with yourself, you have to fight with your demons, you have to fight with the voices in your head that tell you that you're not good enough. In fact, in any new endeavor, whatever it is, once you start doing it, you are not there. Like, you're still learning, and you can't beat yourself up and say, I'm not like this guy, because you don't know how many years it took that guy to become that person. Most times you just have to be patient with yourself, and I think that's what I struggle with the most. I wasn't patient with myself. I felt like I really needed to like just do this now. I had to fight that voice and try to like just not sulk. And now this is a very important one, right? When I started creating art, a lot of my friends were like, Obi, what's going on with you? Don't you still work in the bank anymore? Don't you still work in that your company? And I was like, yeah, but I'm just trying to explore my artistic side. They are very stereotypical. When you say an artist, you feel like, oh, that person should probably be doing something other than creating art. It's just a bad way for us to look at it as Africans. We should be able to accept art. I've read a lot of stories that just changed my life and the mental picture of how I look at life and certain things. So yeah, there's another cool collection I would like to share. This is the 40 faces. We are trying to like just put it out in merches and all of that. So you get to see like different faces that depict different personalities. So you can get one that fits your personality. Are you very laid back? Are you shy? Are you very outgoing? The 40 faces captures most of these illustrations of people.
Do you use social media to share your work? What's been your experience in trying to build an audience online?
All artists would rather create than curate. I feel really uncomfortable showing their art to the world. The personality of most artists usually lean towards people who are very, very reserved and reclusive. When I first started making these pieces, I got comments from people like, bro, put it out there. Just created a page, not stories. Wanted to just share all of my creative bits, my writing and illustrations on there. We don't just want it to be a structure that caters for maybe my art. We want it to be a structure that caters for a lot of artists who really want to put out their art there and have it appreciated by people who really care about art and reading.
So if you could give one piece of advice to beginner artists or creatives who are just starting out, what would it be?
A lot of people who are artists right now, yeah, most of them have the talent. But I mean, the talent does not just sit inside you and grow without you utilizing it. Once you dig in, you realize that you don't even know enough, and there's still a whole lot of things that you should know. Most times it's really very, very frustrating and people just give up. But I promise you that would be like a very wrong thing to do. When you're starting, it's not always easy, but you have to dig through it and find that person. And when you find that person, you grow into a personality that can withstand most of these things. And now that personality can properly give out a good piece, a good art piece that inspires people, or a good book that really changes people's life based on your experiences and the person you have evolved into.
What's one thing you wish you had known when you first started creating art?
Nothing is easy. Creating art is not easy. You see really nice pieces and you feel that, oh, I can do this thing. It's very easy to say it, but when you get the tools and you're about to do this thing, you realize that, oh, I need to learn certain techniques. I need to view from a certain point of view. I need to integrate some certain color blending, shading, and all of that. So you just realize that, oh, there's still a whole lot like to know. Pick people who are mentors to be able to, even if they are not alive anymore, I mean, preferably mentors that are alive. So you can actually communicate with them if you can, or you can also look at their lifestyle and what they are currently doing and try to see how these ideas can reflect also in your own work. One of the novelists, African novelists that has inspired me so much, Chigozie Obioma, An Orchestra of Minorities, and The Fisherman. The Fisherman is a gorgeous book. Trust me, I think everybody should read The Fisherman. These are books that changed my outlook to life and changed my outlook to how I perceive a literary piece. Yeah, mentorship is really important, and I think even though he doesn't realize that, in some sort of way, I look up to him and say, oh yeah, I really love what this guy does. I would really want to do something as good or even better than that.
How do you stay motivated when creativity doesn't come easily?
FIFA. I play a lot of FIFA. I try not to bother the mind so much about like just diving into creativity instantly. I listen to music. Sometimes I just want to listen to something that inspires me. Take a walk. I take a walk a lot. I call it wellness walk. Now, taking a walk keeps me grounded, shows me my environment, shows me the people around me. I try to pick out clues to be able to get me to do my next walk.
So what are you currently working on and what's next for you as an artist?
I've written 4 books, Per Mind Boys. I've written Long Shadow on the Coast. I've written Last Prophet's Tag, and I just finished The Comedian's Diary. Hopefully soon enough we should get these books out there Currently, I'm just trying to build the brand, not stories. I think that's my focus where I am right now. I want to be able to create an opportunity for other artists to be able to like show their pieces out there, show themselves, show the unique thing they have to offer, and some collections that utilize merches from previous art pieces that we've created. In the future, I hope to like do like an art pop-up and invite people to come and like just look at really cool art and buy really cool art.
Any last thoughts for creatives who are trying to make their mark in the art world?
Just do it. Doesn't matter how ugly, doesn't matter how shitty, like just do it every day. Just wake up and do it, and you're a step closer to getting there as an artist.